it. I lived. The comfort of knowing I was about to be completely safe and loved beyond imagining. I would arrive and feel the goodness, all the warmth and love before I even got out of the car. She was my greatest safe place. I hope I can give that to my kids. I really do. I had complete freedom to be a messy human. Real, you know. As the oldest, you're the first grandchild. You're the first to impress, the first to disappoint. And then you grow up and you realize that there was nothing you could have done to make her love crack. It would never fracture. I am lucky, and my children are lucky to have known the safety and consistency of her home. We would just show up and surprise Grandma. She'd be in her curlers, and she would always answer the door the same way. Well, hello. Hello. I loved that. And no matter the weather, she would stand outside and wave goodbye. And I'm coming to understand why. I didn't understand it, and now I'm beginning to. Why she would stand outside in the cold and wave goodbye. And when you grow up a little, you start to understand traditions, the importance of consistency, and you may realize that you took this beacon of love and safety for granted, and then you run to it. Then you share it with your kids, your babies, and you let them know the joy of their own little experiences and their own personal little traditions with her. And I am desperately sad that we won't have 4 generations sitting at a table with her again. How lucky I am, and how lucky are we to have known her and loved her. And I think I'll take my daughter's lead and forgo saying goodbye, because we will see her again. I'm going to say, Grandma Gay, I love you so much. And I'll see you later.
Sister Lauren, who you just heard from, told me this morning, she was telling me about her week. And it was a trying, challenging week for everyone who knew and loved Gay, her family and friends. And she was telling me about how 1, 2, 3, 4 fortuitous events were happening. Things just started clicking into place. Might not have happened before. It just seems like everything is firing on all cylinders. Almost like it was part of the plan. As she says, with Gay in heaven, now things just start happening. I 100% believe that. Now with Gay as this ethereal light following us around, always with us, all our lives will be, I think, in a little bit more order. I can definitely use that. The flowers that we see will be a little bit brighter, more perfectly arranged. All our food will suddenly have a lot more butter and assaulted it. And, I like the thought of that. She was my grandmother, but this morning I've heard her described as she was like my sister, she was like my mother, she was this, she was whatever you wanted her to be. I mean, look at this. This says it all, this picture right here. She was joy and light and warmth and the embodiment of the spirit of serving others. And I'll tell you this right now, whether Jesus wanted it or not, he got like a 7-tier cake. All the angels were getting cheese balls. There's going to be a lot of leftovers in heaven, but all that goodwill and joy will then fall down onto all of us. And we can carry that forward. So every time you're cooking or decorating your Christmas tree, just remember, Gay is hoarding over your shoulder. A little scary, but it actually makes me feel pretty good. And we're all grieving right now, but I am pretty optimistic about the future with that ethereal light now with all of us, all the time. That is Gay, and I think today is a day of celebration of all the years that we get to spend with such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful spirit, such a beautiful person, and I think we can all be very thankful for that blessing.
Morning, everyone. Try to sing for many reasons. Just following my children, being so proud of them, how much they love my mom. And this is the song that I wrote about 40 years ago. It's just about how God is a loving Father, and that we're his children and he's there for us. As a little child reaches up to be held, so will I reach up to you. For my heart is heavy and my need is great. Oh Lord, how I need your special touch. You are near to those whose hearts are breaking. Close by their side. I'm so glad that you are near me. Hurts so deep inside, and just as a father with his gentle strength holds his little one, you will hold me close to you and wipe away my tears and let me know that I am loved. You are near. last time. A father's love revealing a strength that's deep inside. I'm so glad you're by my side.
Three tough acts to follow. I want to thank everyone for being here today on behalf of the family. It's so difficult to lose someone so dear this close to Christmas. I know you'll all keep Aunt Gay's children and family members close to your hearts in the coming weeks. And thank you for your loving thoughts and prayers as they navigate the Christmas season for the first time without their beloved matriarch. I wanted to share a few thoughts and remembrances about my Aunt Gay with you, some of which have already been mentioned. So forgive any duplication. There are some themes that recurred in her life. Family and friends is the first one that comes to my mind. I was blessed to be your nephew for just over 67 years. Growing up, I had 3 sets of cousins, 2 Shaw sets and 1 Johnson set. The Shaws in Arkansas we were lucky to see once or twice a year. The Shaws in Mount Washington, birthdays, special occasions, holidays. The Johnson cousins we saw a lot more. They lived just across the river. As my mother would say, on Indian Hill, not in Indian Hill. We saw them regularly. In the early 60s, lakeside family vacations, some of them with my Johnson grandparents. Christmas mornings, typically our family would open presents and then the Johnsons would come down, open presents again. We had a pool for many years at Mill Street, and we all enjoyed that quite a bit. So we had a shorthand. My siblings and I, the cousins meant the Johnson cousins. Didn't mean any other cousins. We just, if you heard the Johnsons are coming down, or the cousins are coming down, that's who we meant. Aunt Gay loved to sing, and oftentimes at family occasions, we would gravitate after a meal toward the piano. My mom would usually play the piano. Aunt Gay, Uncle Roger, some of his kids, if we were brave enough, would join in. And 3 of the songs I specifically remember from those days: Moon River, from Breakfast at Tiffany's, The Days of Wine and Roses, from the movie of the same name, and then the classic Climb Every Mountain from the 70s. So we had some great family times around the piano. She loved her and adored her family and treasured her friends. And I know she felt blessed to have lived long enough to see her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. She was so dependable with remembering birthdays and anniversaries, always signing her cards with the characteristic flourish of "Love ya, Aunt Gay." And that just wasn't for Mona and me, it was for our children as well. She was a great and loving great Aunt Gay to our 2 daughters, Katie and Lily. Some of their favorite memories of her are from the summer when she babysat them, taking them on adventures all over town in her big blue van. She loved to give and receive hugs, usually saying, "Where's my hug?" with her arms outstretched, and then typically saying to me, "I wish you'd grow." Did my best. I have 2 older brothers, 6 and 7 years older than me, and growing up, I used to tell them, "Someday I'll be bigger. Someday I'll be bigger." And that reminds me of something Gary said many years ago. I don't even know if he remembers this. Before the concepts of age and time were really set, I remember him telling Uncle Roger, "Someday I'm going to catch up to you in age. Someday I'm going to catch up to you." Faith and fellowship was another theme in her life, very strong theme. She had a very long association, as we've heard, with Milford First. She sang in the choir, was the leader of the altar guild, involved in decorating the sanctuary, hanging the greens every year, Easter Sunday flower garden, altar flowers. She was head acolyte wrangler. Youngsters didn't want to be caught lingering in the hallways too close to service time. Our two daughters know that you get pulled down to the sacristy, you have a couple of robes thrown on you and sent down the aisle with a lit candle. She had an excellent eye for detail. It wasn't right until it had been inspected and approved by Aunt Gay. And an example of that has to do with these wall sconces. I came down with Mona one time to help Aunt Gay hang the greens, decorate the sanctuary. At that point, it wasn't these decorations, it was, I want to see some magnolia leaves and some other things. It involved a step ladder, and I got them put up and was about ready to put the step ladder away, and she said, wait a minute, that one needs a little more to the right, and that one a little more to the left. So I had to go back over and, probably moved it a half an inch. But, it wasn't right, the detail was right. She was, as we mentioned, queen of the church kitchens, and that means both kitchens. The original kitchen upstairs off the old fellowship hall, and the new one. Social hour, donut hour, she was queen of the kitchens, countess of coffee, duchess of donuts. And she loved the chaos in directing her kitchen conscripts, or volunteers, I'm sorry. She took great pride in being asked to help design the new kitchen and select the equipment during the church expansion project. And she seemed to be always doing something at the church. It wasn't unusual to drive by and see her car parked outside the church, even on nights other than which choir practice was held. She was always here doing something. Flowers would be another theme. She loved flowers of all types and excelled in creating unique and beautiful arrangements. She was an original member of the Lilies of the Valley Garden Club and later focused that passion to become a certified and accredited judge by the Ohio Association of Garden Clubs. So, in addition to vying for those blue, white, or red ribbons, she was also involved in handing them out at garden club shows. She cultivated and maintained extensive gardens at her home on Park Road, including an especially impressive snowball hydrangea outside the sunroom. During my study of botany at Miami University, she and I would sometimes quiz each other about Latin names for plants and flowers. I think she really enjoyed and appreciated my interest in plants. And I don't know who stumped the other one more. It was maybe a tie. She also enjoyed creating arrangements with silk flowers, including the bridal bouquet she made for my wife Mona when we were married right here 40 years ago, this past December 1st. Food will be another theme. Nobody could bake a cake like Aunt Gay, and she'd be the first one to tell you that. She loved to provide a birthday cake or special treat for friends and family. And she was also very proud of Deborah's work at Von Bonner, where she took that to the professional level, cake decoration. She loved to review, improve, and share recipes, and was a steadfast contributor to a series of church-based cookbooks through the years. She supervised countless church spaghetti dinners and pancake breakfasts over the years, including a colonial-themed extravagant banquet for the church's bicentennial celebration in 1997. I was blessed to have Aunt Gay in my life for so many years. I hope you all have similar memories of her that will bring you comfort in the coming days. May she rest in eternal peace and glory. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank the four witnesses to Gay's life, each so different and so impactful for all of us present today.